Okay, I promise. The couch, the gimmick, it's almost done. I've got desk coming, new camera coming, backdrop coming, professional. Bear with the couch, which is comfortable when I do those wrestling shows. You know, sometimes they take a few hours and I'm kicked back. Like I said, new background, new office, it's coming. Working on it now. I said in the description of the video, if you want to see a tour of what it looks like so far, leave a comment, let me know. Anyway, today I want to get right into the statue, talk a little bit when I'm done. I'm going to be talking about the new Diamond, not new, fairly new, Diamond Select PVC piece Morbius the Living Vampire, based off his comic book appearances. First comic appearance, Amazing Spider-Man 101. It's worth a little bit of money. Well, it's worth quite a bit of money. Still doable though. Try to get it before the movie comes out, because with the movie coming out, it's going to be a hot commodity. Let's go right over to the base. Let's take a look at this statue. All right, there he is, still in the blister pack. Morbius, aka Michael Morbius. You know him from Amazing Spider-Man. You know him from his run with the Spirits of Vengeance books, or the Night Stalker book, whatever they called him. It was like Ghost Rider with Blaze, Sudan Ketch, and Johnny Blaze. They were Spirits of Vengeance. Brought in the Night Stalkers. Morbius, he had his own line. He's kind of come and gone throughout everything, but it's looking to get really hot here with the new movie coming out, because the new movie looks pretty damn good. We all know it's going to be retro-connected to the Spider-Verse, just like Venom did. This is Morbius. He's still in his box from Diamond Select Toys. This is one of their gallery pieces. Let's open him up and take a look. There he is. This is a good-looking piece. I'll tilt him up a little bit here for the camera, if you don't mind seeing my big head and hand in the way, as you notice here. Let's bring him up a little bit closer. Well, that's not working worth a shit, is it? There we go. There's his face. He's got that really nice sunken-in vampire look. I'll give you a little bit better shot of the face, I'll tell you when we do the close-up. But he looks good. Sleek styling like the comic. You can see all the muscles are done. Biceps, triceps, lats, chest, abs, quads, calves, everything. I mean, he's pretty jacked up vampire guy. And they've done all the muscles underneath his costume. This is a very, very, very really nice looking. I like the dark black, almost bluish gray color, so to speak, of his suit. It's a really odd color. It's got the red lapel, the red belt. You can see his skin. It's that chalky white vampire look. Hands are outstretched, you know, fully formed. Got the big claws going on. You can see his ears kind of coming up through his hair. The base is neat. Normally I don't talk about the base till I spin it, but I want to on this one because I like a couple things about it. Number one, I really like on the boot area how even though it's a comic piece, it's molded to kind of show you a little bit of, you know, like if you were really wearing a boot where it would wrinkle, especially because for some reason I think this is either spandex or leather that Morbius wears. I don't know. He's a pretty out there vampire. It looks cool, and I like that extra touch of detail. I like the base because it's essentially like a gargoyle. I mean, that is not essentially, it is, you know, because he's on the rooftop. I like the placement of the legs. He's got the one right down by where the foot of the gargoyle is. The other one's kind of leaning up against the wing. You can see the costume. It's comic accurate. It is sleek. You know, the outstretched hands. It has a very menacing look because he's actually he's a fairly menacing character. I really like him. Let me get him spinning. Let's take a better look. All right, now we got him spinning. You can see, like I stated, all the muscle. I like how his cape, and that's how it is in the comics. It's like a little cape, but it comes just underneath the arms, almost like bat wings. You can notice that they're red, fully molded in. I got them by the box. We can zoom in a little bit here as we get toward the back. That back is a big V shape. Look at all the muscles that they put in there. I like how there's just a little piece of hair that goes over his collar, and both of the ears are exposed. As we go down, you can see this hand right there, outstretched, almost skeleton-like. Well, he's an evil vampire. Not really evil. I'll get into that later. I do really like the touch of the wings, and I like the placement. Almost like he's looking down. I mean, you can see here at the base as I've got this spinning. Got to get a bigger turntable for some of these pieces. The wings and the detail of the gargoyle itself are really nice. I like the jest of the boots. I like everything. I like the whole costume. This is a PVC piece, so it's not the resin. So it is more sturdy, as weird as that sounds. Not as heavy, but definitely more sturdy. I like it. As you can see the box, too, which we had him in. It's got the nice picture of him on there. So if you don't want to display the piece, which I know a lot of people don't, this is a good way to, because you can still see everything in there, and it looks pretty good. I like to display my pieces. If anybody wants me to post like a little tour room of the office I'm building that's got, I don't know, probably 40 pieces itself in it, more than happy to do that. This is a good piece. I really think this one, it's been out for a little while, but I highly recommend you picking it up as soon as you can, because with the movie coming out, it's going to be a hot commodity. It's not a limited piece, but only so many of these things can get made. Like I said, this is very detailed. It's a dead ringer to the comic version. And from what I've seen in the movie, that's pretty spot on. Marvel's been doing a really good job with keeping this stuff pretty accurate. I haven't read a Morbius book since the late 90s, since that run. So I don't know if he's been updated at all like they like to do with some of their characters in terms of the outfits. But this is the old school outfit, which I really like. I'm going to get you a better look at the face when we get on the couch. Let's take a quick final look, and I hope you like Morbius. Wow, how cool. Here, I brought it up like I told you. Dun, 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 dun. There's his face. Look at those glowing red eyes, the fangs, the soul patch, because, 70s. I think 71 would have been the first year he debuted, 1971, so he might be getting ready to do a little discoing. It looks really good. We had him on the spin. For those of you who don't know, and I think the movie is going to touch on this, Michael Morbius was like this brilliant, he's like a Nobel Peace Prize winner. He's a biochemist. I think he's got a few things. He's got some like weird, funky, like blood disease. Kind of makes him a vampire looking. Not necessarily a vampire, but he decides that he's going to take some vampire bat DNA and I believe some type of electroshock therapy. It's been a minute since I read it. And I don't like to research it first because then you sound like one of those know-it-all goons. So I'm just telling you what I remember. He decides to cure him, but instead it makes him like a pseudo-vampire, so to speak. He like feeds from his hands. I don't think the hands have the sucker detail into it. He ends up running into Spidey and the Lizard. I'm trying to move closer because of this stupid sunlight. There we go. All right. So, he kind of gets involved in Spider-Man. He's labeled as a villain in the early days. I think he's still technically known as a Spidey villain. He had his own run in the 90s. I think he's had several of his own runs, to be honest with you. He had to pop up in Spider-Man because back in the early day, you couldn't have a lot of supernatural forces. So he was the living pseudo-vampire because there was still some heat with the comics code and everything. Yeah, that's why they had him pop in Spidey. That was the most popular one. And Spidey had actually busted the code a few times with the Harry Osborn drug pill popping storyline. It's actually pretty good. DC did a little bit better when I think Speedy became a flat out heroin addict, but different companies. I like DC, I like Marvel, I like Diamond Select Toys. Like I said, this piece is a really nice piece. You can still find it. That movie is coming out soon. We already know Michael Keaton's in it. We already know Venom retroconnected with the Spider-Man film universe. It all has to do, we all know, with the new one coming out, whatever it's called, Far From Home, No Way Home, Spider-Man 3 again. So actually that'd be Spider-Man 3, 4, 5, 6, Spider-Man 8. But Doctor Strange spends time, messes with the multiverse. That's how Venom gets in there. I have a feeling, I don't know if Morbius will be coming in that way, but I kind of got a feeling that he's already technically in that universe from what we've seen of Michael Keaton, because he was the Vulture, in the first one. So the piece is going to get harder to get. The comics are going to get harder to get. If you can pick up Spider-Man 101, it's going to run you a few bucks. Pick it up. It's a solid investment. I don't know yet about the 90s books. They're not worth much now. They may or may not be. So just kind of keep it steady if you want to keep your eye on them. The stats you definitely pick up. Like I said, this is PVC, so it wasn't like a limited run like some of the resins. But, I mean, they're not going to last forever. So my advice to you would be to pick it up as soon as you can. I got a link here in the description. This was Morbius. I think it's another winner from Diamond Select. I highly recommend you go and pick it up today.